Hey everyone, in this video, we'll uncover the most valuable Abraham Lincoln wheat penny you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these Lincoln wheat pennies so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. First up, the 1929 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. A coin minted without a mint mark, found in damaged condition with some scratches, but still full of historical significance. Let's take a closer look at what this coin represents, how it was made, and what it could be worth in today's collector market. The Lincoln wheat penny has been one of the most Q-size. AIT since been one of the most Q-size serious, and leaves a rich, long-lasting color. Let's take a closer look at what/lost clays. And what's said to KHF, no excite. AHF, well, no acute. AIT, we seek. MHE, AIT, ev, well, by we make suckade. MA we said, it's elsev, gresad, good collide it, kowitsay to cast sikitsid, it's use it's and sikik the beta, to rosi to the glide, it's to put the glide to beloved coins in U.S. history since its first issue in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse of the coin features the familiar right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse includes two stylized wheat ears framing the denomination 1 cent. This iconic design remained in use until 1958, giving collectors plenty of years and varieties to explore. The year 1929 was an important year in U.S. history. It marked the beginning of the Great Depression, with the stock market crash in October, shaking the country's economy and impacting millions of lives. During this turbulent year, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 185 million Lincoln wheat pennies, which is quite a large mintage. Because of this, the 1929 wheat penny is not considered rare overall, but, like all coins, its value depends greatly on its condition, color, and minting details. Your coin is a Philadelphia Mint issue, which is indicated by the absence of a mint mark under the date on the obverse side. The Philadelphia Mint was the only U.S. mint to strike coins without a mint mark during this time, even though the coin is nearly 100 years old. The large mintage means that it's still fairly common to find 1929 wheat pennies in circulation, coin rolls, and collections. Now let's talk about the condition of your coin. You've described it as being in damaged condition with some scratches, which unfortunately lowers its value quite a bit in the eyes of collectors. Damage on a coin may include corrosion, dents, cleaning marks, bending, or deep scratches, all of which can prevent it from receiving a professional grade. Nevertheless, even damaged coins can have some collector interest, especially when they date back to significant periods in U.S. history, like the 1920s. Despite the damage, your coin still represents an important piece of history. It's a genuine artifact from a pivotal year in America's economic and political timeline. Even worn down and scratched, it's likely that this penny passed through many hands over the decades, from workers and shopkeepers in the 1930s to perhaps students and veterans later on. Coins like this tell a story, not just through their design, but through the wear and marks they carry. Let's now turn our attention to its estimated market value. Because of its damaged condition, this 1929 wheat penny falls into the lower end of the value scale. In today's collector market, a heavily worn or damaged 1929 penny without a mint mark typically sells for around 2 to 5 cents, which is slightly above face value. In some cases, if the coin retains good eye appeal or has sentimental value, it might sell for 10 cents or more, but usually not higher unless there is something unusual about the strike or variety. In contrast, a 1929 Lincoln sent in higher circulated grades, such as very fine or extremely fine can sell for between 25 cents and $1.50, and in uncirculated or mint state grades, especially those with original red color and no damage, the value can climb significantly. Coins graded MS63 red might be worth $15 to $30, while top-grade examples graded MS65 red can sell for $50 or more, especially at auction. Still, even in damaged condition, your 1929 wheat penny can be a meaningful addition to a basic collection or a Lincoln cent-year set. Many collectors enjoy owning one of every year and mint mark, regardless of condition, especially when the coin represents such a historic moment in American life. For beginner collectors, coins like this offer an affordable way to connect with the past and learn about numismatics. Next up, the 1958D Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny. This specific coin has a D mint mark, is in fine condition, and has some scratches. So we'll break down what that means for collectors and how much this coin is worth in today's coin market. The 1958D Wheat Penny marks the final year of the wheat reverse design on the Lincoln cent, a design that had been in use since 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows Lincoln's profile, while the reverse features two stylized wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent and the words United States of America. These wheat ears earned the coin its nickname. The wheat penny. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which produced a massive quantity of Lincoln cents in 1958. In fact, over 800 million 1958D pennies were struck, making it one of the more common dates in the wheat penny series. Because of this high mintage, it's a coin that's relatively easy to find even today, in circulation, in penny rolls, or in old coin collections passed down through families. Your coin is described as being in fine condition, which means it has seen some circulation but still retains decent detail. In this condition, Lincoln's features, like his jawline and hair, are visible but worn, and the wheat stalks on the reverse might show wear but are still identifiable. You also mentioned that the coin has some scratches, which is not unusual for a circulated coin, especially one that's over 65 years old. While scratches and general wear do impact a coin's collector value, this 1958D penny still holds interest, especially for those looking to complete a full Lincoln wheat cent set. Many collectors aim to gather one penny from each year and mint mark, and the 1958D is a key piece because of its position as the final wheat penny ever minted. Starting in 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking a new chapter in U.S. coinage. So let's talk about market value. Since the 1958D penny is fairly common and your coin is in fine condition with scratches, it doesn't carry a high premium. In the current coin market, a typical 1958D penny in this condition generally sells for about 5 to 15 cents. If the scratches are minimal and the coin has nice eye appeal, it might push toward the higher end of that range. Now, if your 1958D penny were in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value could be quite a bit higher. Coins graded MS62, MS63 red, for example, can be worth $10 to $30. Depending on the luster and sharpness, higher grade examples, such as MS65 red or better, might sell for $5 to $15, especially if slabbed and certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Rare examples with exceptional color or strike might even go for more. It's also worth mentioning that some rare varieties of the 1958 wheat penny have fetched high prices, particularly the 1958 double die obverse, where the lettering and date show strong doubling. However, that variety has only been found on coins minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark. So if your coin has a D mint mark, it's not one of those extremely rare doubled dies. Still, even without being rare, your 1958D penny is historically significant. It represents the end of the original Lincoln wheat cent design, a design that had honored America's 16th president for nearly 50 years. It also came at the close of a decade that had seen massive economic and cultural change in the United States. In a way, this little coin is a farewell to an era, which makes it a sentimental favorite among collectors. If you're interested in selling the coin, it may not bring much individually, but you could consider selling it as part of a group of wheat pennies. Many collectors buy bulk wheat cents to search for key dates or build year sets. If you plan to keep it, storing the coin in a protective coin flip or a small holder will help prevent further wear or scratches over time. Next up, the 1948 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. Without a mint mark, in dirty condition and showing some scratches. While this might not be the rarest penny out there, it still holds value both in the collector market and in the story it tells. About mid-20th century America, the 1948 wheat penny belongs to the beloved Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 and continues today in a different design. The wheat penny era, lasting from 1909 to 1958, features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the reverse showing to wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent and the words, United States of America. These wheat stalks earned the coin the popular nickname wheat penny. This particular coin, struck in 1948 without a mint mark, was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark on pennies during that time. In that year, the Philadelphia Mint produced more than 317 million Lincoln wheat cents, making the 1948 issue relatively common in circulated condition. That high mintage means that while the coin is historically significant, it's not considered rare in today's market. The coin in question is described as being in dirty condition with some scratches. That kind of wear is expected from a coin that circulated for years, possibly decades, in the pockets, purses, and drawers of ordinary Americans. Dirt and discoloration are common signs of age, and while they don't necessarily ruin a coin, they do impact its grade and value. The presence of scratches further lowers its appeal to collectors who seek well-preserved examples. In numismatic terms, this coin likely falls somewhere in the good to fine condition range, depending on the actual level of wear. In this condition, Lincoln's image is clearly visible, but the details in his hair and coat are worn down. On the reverse, the wheat stalks may be faint or partially flattened, and the lettering might show signs of wear. The coin's dirty appearance could be due to natural toning, oxidation, or residue from handling over the decades. So, what is a 1948 Lincoln wheat penny like this worth in today's coin market? Because it is a common date and in well-worn condition, the monetary value is modest. On average, a 1948 wheat penny in this kind of condition is worth about 3 to 10 cents. The exact value depends on how much of the original detail remains and whether the coin has any unusual features that might interest collectors. That said, there are ways to enhance your enjoyment or even the value of the coin. Some collectors clean coins in hopes of improving appearance. But it's important to note that cleaning is generally discouraged in the numismatic community. Cleaning a coin, especially with abrasive materials, can reduce its value by removing the natural patina and damaging the surface. It's better to leave the coin as is, preserving its original state as a piece of history. One factor that keeps collectors interested in coins, like the 1948 wheat penny, is their role in building complete date and mint sets. Many collectors aim to acquire one penny from each year and each mint from 1909 to 1958. A 1948 penny without a mint mark is an essential part of that set. While it's common, no collection is truly complete without it. Also worth noting is that some rare varieties and errors exist in the Lincoln cent series. These include things like double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. However, The 1948 Philadelphia issue is not known for any major recognized errors, and your description does not suggest any such anomaly is present. So, while your 1948 Lincoln wheat penny may not bring in big money at auction, it's still a meaningful piece of American history. It represents the post-World War II era when the United States was rebuilding, expanding, and entering a new phase of economic growth. Millions of people handled coins like this, daily buying groceries, paying for bus rides, or saving in piggy banks. Holding one today is like holding a small copper window into the past. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, in black color shade, good condition, and showing some scratches, while not a high-dollar coin. It offers collectors and enthusiasts a deeper connection to mid-century American history and numismatics. The 1946 wheat penny holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. Coming just after the end of World War II, this coin was minted in a time when the nation was transitioning from wartime to peacetime, with factories shifting from military production to consumer goods and soldiers returning home. It represents more than currency. It represents a hopeful chapter in American life. The Lincoln Cent, introduced in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner and features Abraham Lincoln's right-facing portrait on the obverse, or front, of the coin. On the reverse side, the wheat penny design showcases two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America with the motto E pluribus unum above. This wheat design lasted until 1958 before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse starting in 1959. Now let's talk about the 1946 issue specifically. Your coin, being struck without a mint mark, was minted in Philadelphia. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 991 million Lincoln wheat pennies, which means this coin is very common in terms of mintage. However, collectors still value it, especially in higher grades or with interesting toning or patina. You mentioned that your coin has a black color shade. That dark coloration is usually the result of environmental exposure over many years. It could come from oxidation, long-term contact with moisture, soil, or even storage in a non-archival environment. While it may not be the original red or brown hue of fresh copper, this kind of toning is quite common and sometimes even considered appealing by collectors, depending on its appearance. The condition of your coin is listed as good, with some scratches. In coin grading terms, good condition indicates that the major features, such as Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks, are visible but worn. Details in Lincoln's hair, jawline, and coat may be smoothed down. The reverse design likely has visible wheat stalk outlines, but little fine detail remaining. The presence of scratches adds wear to the overall appeal, and while they do lower the value, they also tell a story. Every scratch or dark mark can represent decades of use, possibly from change passed through the hands of people during post-war America, when coins were heavily circulated. Because it's a high mintage year and in circulating condition, the value is modest. In general, a 1946 wheat penny in good condition, like yours, can fetch anywhere from 3 to 10 cents. The coin has more defined details and is closer to very fine or extra fine condition. The value could be slightly higher, around 15 to 25 cents. However, collectors looking for pristine specimens with original copper color tones are willing to pay more for uncirculated or mint-state examples, which can go from a few dollars to over $5 or $10, depending on grading and eye appeal. While your coin may not command a premium price in auction markets today, its value goes beyond just dollars. It is an authentic piece of American history, a relic from a year when the world was healing from war and moving toward a new chapter. Owning and collecting wheat pennies like this one is a way to connect to the past and appreciate the small yet meaningful items that carried everyday transactions across generations. Some collectors might be tempted to clean their coins to remove dark toning or scratches, but it's important to note that cleaning is not recommended. Cleaning often results in further damage to the coin surface, which can reduce its numismatic value. Even though the coin has some imperfections, leaving it in its original state preserves both its character and its historical integrity. Whether you're starting a collection or adding to an existing one, a 1946 wheat penny belongs in the timeline of any Lincoln cent set. It's affordable, widely available, and offers a connection to an important time in American life. For new collectors, this coin serves as a stepping stone into the fascinating world of numismatics. For seasoned collectors, it fills a necessary spot in their date and mint mark series. Next up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, with a large date, bearing the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. This particular coin is described as being in good condition, with some scratches. So let's explore its background, design, and what it's worth in today's market. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most famous coins in U.S. history, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. The obverse design by Victor David Brenner features a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln with the motto, "In God We Trust," above his head, the word liberty to the left, and the date on the right. On this coin, you'll also find the small d mint mark just below the date, identifying it as having been struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse, you'll find the famous wheat ears designed two stylized wheat stalks curving along the left and right edges, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E pluribus unum at the top. This reverse design, which collectors affectionately call the wheatback, remained in use until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Now, let's set the stage for 1942. The United States was deeply involved in World War II, and resources like copper were crucial for the war effort. However, in 1942, the penny was still made from the traditional composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It wasn't until the following year, 1943, that the mint switched to steel cents coated with zinc to save copper for ammunition and other military needs. Because of this, your 1942D wheat penny is still made of the heavier copper alloy, giving it a rich, warm tone. At the Denver Mint in 1942, more than 206 million Lincoln wheat pennies were produced. This large mintage means the coin is not particularly rare in general, but its value can still be influenced by its condition and collector demand. Since your coin is in good condition, this means it has seen moderate to heavy circulation. The major design details, Lincoln's portrait, the date, the mint mark, and the wheat stalks are still visible, but with noticeable wear and flattening. Some fine details in Lincoln's hair and coat, and the wheat kernels on the reverse will be worn down, and the scratches you mentioned may slightly reduce the appeal to some collectors. So, what does that mean for value? In today's coin market, a 1942D Lincoln wheat penny in good condition typically sells for around 5 to 15 cents, about 2 to 6 times its face value. If it were in very fine condition, it could bring in closer to 25 to 50 cents, and in uncirculated mint state condition, it might sell for several dollars, with top-graded examples even reaching into the tens or hundreds, depending on quality. However, there's one more exciting angle to consider: mint errors and varieties. Occasionally, 1942D cents are found with double dies, repunched, mint marks, or other striking anomalies. These errors can make even a circulated coin worth significantly more, sometimes tens or hundreds of dollars. If you suspect your coin has unusual lettering, doubling, or an oddly placed mint mark, it may be worth having it examined by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Another Thing worth noting is that even common-date wheat pennies are becoming more collectible as time goes on. Younger collectors often start their coin journey by filling Whitman folders with wheat cents. And coins from the World War II era are especially popular because of their historical connection. Your coin's scratches and wear don't erase the fact that it's a tangible piece of American history, one that could have traveled in the pockets of soldiers, factory workers, and everyday citizens during a pivotal moment in history. To summarize, your 1942D Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in good condition, with some scratches, holds modest monetary value but significant historical charm. It's not made of silver, but it's made of the wartime copper alloy that the U.S. would soon have to conserve. While it might only sell for a small amount in today's market, its story and place in American history make it worth keeping in any collection, especially if you enjoy coins that connect to the past. Whether you're just starting your collection or adding to a long-time passion, coins like this are a reminder that value isn't always measured in dollars alone. Sometimes, the real treasure lies in the history, craftsmanship, and journey a coin has taken before it reached your hands.